everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ronke Lawal, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about dealing with a PR crisis in your business. Whether you're a one-man band or a huge multinational, there might be a time during the course of your business life where you have to deal with a PR crisis. And that can be a disgruntled employee selling a story to the tabloids, or it could be a social media frenzy when an upset customer or client kind of gets on Twitter and starts talking about your business. So how do you deal with them? And how do you kind of get to grips if you do have to deal with a PR crisis? First of all, and I think it should be most obvious, but it's not always the case, I find with some businesses, is apologise. Listen, I know it might not always be the case, but most of the time the customer is always right. And actually, if you've done something to upset or annoy a customer, just apologise. I think that's the most important principle of dealing with any PR crisis. So face it head on and say sorry. I know it could be a hard word. There's songs about this, but it's an important word. Sorry can really, really do a lot in dealing with a PR crisis. Next, be ready and prepared to be held accountable. If something happens in your business that causes some kind of social media frenzy, or you're getting a lot of negative press, negative media attention, you have to be ready to face up to whatever it is. Okay? Even if you're still in dispute or you're not even sure if you are responsible as the business owner or your employees or whoever represents your business, you still have to find a way of being held accountable, okay? So be ready and prepared to just take ownership of the situation and the problem, because at the end of the day, if your brand is involved with this, it really is your responsibility to tackle it, okay? Thirdly, be ready to engage. Now, you can't bury your head in the sand and just think it's going to go away. Quite often, and I think more than any other time before, social media and technology has made stories almost impossible to disappear. Actually, you can get a business trending for all the wrong reasons these days, and search engines will really make it even more impossible for your story to disappear. So be ready to engage and tackle it head on. I've said it earlier about accountability, tongue-tied, accountability, but really be prepared to engage, get out there, face the media, face the press, face social media as well. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook or any of those platforms to really engage with your customer base, your potential customer base, the customers or customer who's been upset by whatever it is this crisis has had to bring up, and engage, okay? Next, and I think most importantly, and I've touched on this earlier again, social media. Develop a social media platform. The worst thing your business can do, or people who work for your business can do, is get on social media and start ranting and going off on one, or having an argument, an online argument with customers, clients, whoever. It's not cool, okay? Set a social media policy for yourself, for your employees, for your team, for anyone who's in your business circle who can who can kind of share the news about this PR crisis. And maybe you don't want to kind of talk too much about it, but obviously you have to deal with it in some way, okay? But the main way is to not get into any kind of argument with people. But primarily set a social media policy and identify who can tweet, who can share a Facebook or LinkedIn update, who can write a blog post, okay? And obviously it's not always in your control, because in any space, in any kind of realm, there's always going to be people who are going to say whatever. And I'm not talking about controlling the dialogue of what's happening on social media, because once it's out there, once your crisis, and I hope this doesn't happen to you, if you do have a crisis, okay, is out there, you have to find a way internally to tackle it, and tackle it appropriately. And finally, be respectful. No matter what the situation is, what the problem is, you have to find some way of being mature and respecting the person who's been upset, the people who have been upset, the customer, client, and again, it could even be a disgruntled employee. I don't know. It could be someone who's been impacted by whatever the negative story is about your business. you still have to show some level of respect. So be respectful, okay? And it goes back to everything I've said. I've said apologise, I've said be prepared, I've said be ready to engage, so talk to people, I've said set a policy in place that deals with social media. And what brings this all together is respect. Respecting your customer, respecting yourself, and respecting the people who are going to share the story about this. And so that really would be the media. Okay, so I'm hoping you never have to deal with a PR crisis in your business. I really hope so, because they can be a nightmare. But in the real world, if you do, I hope these tips help you. And best of luck. Take care, and thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Take care, guys.